I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
And this week, there's rats in the kitchen and our hearts. Somebody call the health inspector.
Ratatouille from 2007.
This is me. I think it's apparent that I need to rethink my life a little bit. I can't help myself. I like good food, okay? And good food is hard for a rat to find.
It wouldn't be so hard to find if you weren't so picky.
I don't want to eat garbage, Dad. What is that?
I don't really know.
You don't know, and you're eating it.
You know, if you can sort of muscle your way past the gag reflex, all kinds of food possibilities open up.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't think any of this would have come up, but we happen to live in Paris, France. And it's so easy to find good food in Paris. It's just...
Such a fun movie.
This is a great movie.
Okay,
this is fantastic.
I don't know how I could continue with this if you didn't like it, to be honest.
Wait. What kind of fucking monster wouldn't like this movie?
I know.
Spoiler alert, this movie's perfect.
It's pretty fantastic.
No, it's perfect. It's a perfect movie.
Did you get a little misty-eyed at the end of it?
Of course. How could you not?
It's pretty good.
It just makes you so happy at the end. Like, everything worked out and everything was cool.
Spoiler alert.
Who cares?
I'm kind of mad that now I'm hungry, though. I was like, man, that looks really good. I want to eat that.
I didn't really have that, but it was a really a love story to food, which really gets right to my heart. So
yeah, it's chef's kiss.
Yeah.
for lack of a better expression.
Wait, I can't show you that, but in my final thoughts, it says chef's kiss.
Well, you can do it later.
Yeah,
but well, that's awesome. I'm really happy. So, was it better? Because you'd never seen it. I had seen it.
Oh, yeah. I thought that this was going to be like an averagey, kind of just middle-of-the-road, middling Pixar movie. I thought, like WALL-E, which, I mean, all Pixar movies are good. Or maybe like Cars or something.
Yeah.
I didn't expect a perfect movie. I wasn't expecting The Lion King.
It's pretty fantastic.
Especially for a movie that didn't have any music in it.
Yeah, even a lot of background. It didn't really have that much background music in it either.
It didn't need it because... This movie is so visual and so crazy and so story-driven and character-driven.
So, the new ride in Disney World...
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
It's like mirroring that scene where he's running through the kitchen and all the things are popping up everywhere.
It's going to be fun.
It's
got to be fun.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, so of course you can watch this on Disney Plus, obviously.
Yeah.
Ratatouille from 2007. Family, comedy, animation. From the creators of Cars and The Incredibles comes a breakthrough comedy that lets you experience Paris from an all-new perspective. In one of Paris's finest restaurants, Remy, a determined young rat, dreams of becoming a renowned French chef. Torn between his family's wishes and his true calling, Remy and his pal Linguini set in motion a hilarious chain of events that turns the City of Lights upside down.
Today on The French Chef.
Today on The French Chef.
But really, except for it's the male version of Julia. No, not
the
even.
The rat male? No, it's nothing like Julia Child.
No. It would have been funny, though, that giant jacked rat, if he would have done an impersonation at some point, like in that end scene of Julia Child. Like one of her famous mannerisms, that would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been good. They definitely could have nodded to her, but I don't think they were in that vibe.
No, probably not. So this movie had 2 directors.
Yep, Brad Bird, who was the Incredibles guy.
Also The Iron Giant, not a Pixar movie, but it's a not Disney or Pixar animated movie that's very, very good.
And he did Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, which is really weird. It's like, what?
Yeah, Tom Cruise was like, "Oh, hey, I saw your work in Ratatouille. Do you want to come direct my next Mission Impossible movie?"
And then Jan Pinkava, who's basically just a Pixar employee. He's not anybody. He didn't really do anything else.
Yeah, he's just done shorts. He's not.
Well, yeah, he's just a Pixar. It's one of those things that Pixar does. Is that they'll take one of the employees that was really important on the set or the doing of this, and they throw him a credit, which is really nice of them.
I mean, maybe he had a little director under his hat.
Well, let's just continue that because they're also both the writers on this.
Yeah, with Jim Capobianco.
Who was a writer on Hunchback and Lion King.
Capobianco.
Capobianco.
That's a fun name to say.
And Brad Bird, he wrote this in The Incredibles, and Jan didn't do anything else. And
come on, Jan. No, Brad Bird really is the leader on this. I mean, clearly he's...
And The Incredibles is great, but this is fantastic.
Correct, sir.
That's why I was really happy when we rolled it, because I hadn't seen it in a while, and it's...
damn good.
Really good. But
so is it better than you remembered, or is it...
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that would be the case, because I'm like, I could see watching this in the theater and being you could never walk away feeling bad. But just being like, oh, that was good.
Well, I noticed...
But watching this critically, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, and I noticed more things, like, animation-wise that I didn't pick up on the first time, and I just appreciated more, since we've watched a lot more movies.
I definitely could see rewatching this like 5 or 6 times and catching 100 different things.
Yeah, and I just appreciated the story a little more, and I just appreciated it a little more.
It's fair, dog. It's fair. So, I mean, our star of the show, Patton Oswalt.
Okay, but I definitely didn't remember that he was in this movie.
Hi, I'm Patton Oswalt, and I'm the voice of Remy the Rat in the new movie Ratatouille. Now, I'm a stand-up comedian, so when Brad Bird, the guy that directed The Incredibles and The Iron Giant, flat out said, hey, I want you to be the lead in the next Disney and Pixar movie. I was like, oh, my friends are playing a prank on me.
It doesn't sound like him, really.
No, it does. It totally sounds like Patton Oswalt.
I
was like, as soon as he talked, I was like, oh, wow, this is Patton Oswalt. Cool.
I don't think he sounds like him, but...
And it's weird that he's never really been the star of anything.
Well, he's a character actor.
And he's he's a comedian and a character actor. I mean, he's best known for King of Queens.
Yeah.
A stupid CBS sitcom from the early 2000s.
Yeah. He's
been in everything. Oh my god. Every show you've ever watched has a Patton Oswalt episode.
Yeah, he's literally all over the place.
And he's the best. He's a funny guy. He's a good guy. Everybody kind of is like, Patton Oswalt.
Yeah, even though he has a horrible personal life story. It's fine. But
well, that's just one bit of his personal life.
But it's very sad. I also didn't remember Brad Garrett being in this movie.
Well, he's Gusteau. I mean, he's just kind of a goofy side part.
I love all those side parts.
Also starring, I guess it was because they were both on Monday night on CBS. He's best known for Everybody Loves Raymond as the goofy brother. But the funny thing is that Patton Oswalt kind of played the same-ish character for King of Queens as like the side brother character, but they were totally different people.
Gotcha.
But they both played the side funny guy in each show.
Yeah. No, I loved all of, and I think I that was one of the things that I remembered. Didn't really like, how do I say this? Like watching it now, I'm like, oh man, I love all of these parts with Gusteau. They're so funny.
You are an illustration. Why am I talking to you?
Oh, you just lost your family, all your friends. You are lonely.
Yeah. Well, you're dead.
But that is no match for wishful thinking.
Janine Garofalo as Colette.
Also, didn't realize she was in this movie.
I actually didn't realize that was her until we looked everything up. I was like, oh.
The lone female character in this entire movie. True Pixar sausage fest fashion.
Yeah. And I guess if you wanted to critique it, that would be the one thing. Why were there no female rats?
Emile could have been a sister.
So I guess right now I'll go, okay, that's the one thing I'll nitpick.
Yeah, well, actually, his brother could have been a sister.
No, that wouldn't have worked out well.
I don't know. Just the ideas. When I saw the name Lou Romano, I was like, oh, what is that? Ray Romano's son? Did he just get the part because he's friends with Brad Garrett?
His brother?
I don't know if they're brothers, but I thought it's not his son. Hold on, let me look. I didn't look up the other relatives.
I don't think so because the only thing he's done is Pixar stuff.
Yeah, I think he's just another Romano.
I think he's just a Pixar employee.
But I was like, oh.
No, yeah, I thought the same thing, but when I saw he'd only done other Pixar stuff, I was like, oh, he's just a Pixar employee.
I kept wanting to call Linguini Luigi, but that's...
The other weak part of the movie is that he doesn't have a decent name.
Yeah. Linguini. Alfredo Linguini.
Yeah,
it's a little lazy character naming.
Yeah.
But he, at first, I I didn't really like his character.
I did. I thought he was a perfect goof.
No, but then
dummy.
he grew on me, and his voice was kind of perfect for...
His voice was very perfect.
That...
Of just like a dur?
It, like, matched his animation perfectly.
Yeah. And then Ian Holm as Chef Skinner, who was like, he's Bilbo Baggins.
He's all over the place.
He was in The Fifth Element. He was nominated for an Oscar in Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
And he's like a huge actor. He has a huge, sprawling IMDb that's impossible to figure out.
Yes. Well, he was Lawrence of Arabia. That's probably his biggest part.
Yeah, probably. And then Brian Dennehy, who plays the dad rat. And I love him. Like, he's one of the best bad guys in First Blood, the first Rambo movie. It's amazing. No, he's amazing.
Probably. I've never seen it.
Yeah, and he's really good in a lot of bad 80s movies. I fucking love Brian Dennehy.
Fuck you. And fuck your hairy friend. Hold it. What? I said, hold it. Jesus, what do you think, you're Al Pacino, huh? Don't break my fucking hand! Break your fucking hand. You're threatening a police officer on the second floor of the Southeast Division, scumbag. I'll kick your fucking goon ass all the way from here to Pasadena and back. You'll be picking that new rug of yours out of the freeway, you fucking asshole. Now spread 'em!
Did you have anybody else?
No, that was kind of it for me. I was kind of like, all right, I'm good.
All right. What about you?
Because I think it was other Pixar people.
Yeah. What about your fun facts?
Ooh, fun facts.
Rat facts.
Well, okay, so the first fact, I'll just make it about rats. But they kept rats in the hallway for a year to study their movements and their faces and pet rats, like in cages, like so they could observe them like they do for all Pixar movies.
Not just freely roaming around the hallways.
That would be, you'd fuck your building up.
The rats weren't like walking around going, hey!
Ooh, yo!
What's up? Yo, Jim, I'm going to help you out. Get this part. There was a Ratatouille wine in production for Costco, made out of France, but they decided not to go through with it because they thought maybe it would encourage children to drink.
That's pretty dumb. They should have come out with that. People would have liked it.
Yes.
They worked they studied the French Laundry, the famous San Francisco Bay Area restaurant, to figure out the workings of a fancy kitchen to make this movie. It's a great idea. Well, I haven't been there, but it's on the list.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's some chefs out there who are like, that would never happen that way. It's inaccurate. A rat would not cook in the kitchen.
Well, I mean, of course not.
When I was looking up something about this movie, one of the things that people Googled was, is Ratatouille based on a true story? And I was like, really? Really?
Oh, shit.
Wow.
That is fantastic.
Wow.
I really do appreciate all of you who've done that. I love you.
Yeah.
You're God's special children.
Yes. It's so inspiring.
But, one of the things you have to remember about that is that literally could just be children Googling that.
It probably is.
Yeah.
No, you guys, it's a real story. And his friends are like, the ratatouille that Remy prepares would take at least 4 hours to make in real life.
Well, the way you look at it, that's absolutely a fact with all the little thin dicing and the baking and all that. That checks out. At the time, this had the most Oscar nominations for an animated movie, which is 5.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sales of pet rats increased dramatically after this movie was released.
All those poor rats and all those poor people sad that they adopted rats because rats are disgusting.
Yes.
And the only other thing I have is that it's rare to see alcohol in Disney movies.
Well, and piggybacking off of the rat backing off of that, Linguini is the first Pixar character to appear drunk in a movie.
Oh, hey, look at that.
The first character. Don't know what the second one is, but...
Is that really true?
Mm-hmm.
What about Dumbo?
Pixar
Oh,
character.
Pixar. Yeah. That's absolutely a fact. I guess we'll find out if there's somebody else.
Yep.
Surely you don't expect me to believe this is your first time cooking.
It's not.
I knew it!
It's my second, third, fourth, fifth time. Monday was my first time.
So, we start off with Anyone Can Cook.
The heart and soul of this movie.
The heart and soul of this, exactly right. We've learned that Remy is a gifted rat who can smell out the poison, and that's his job for the rat crew, which his father happens to be the chief of.
Yeah, because he's, don't eat that. When he is out foraging with his brother, he finds this, like, mushroom and some cheese.
Yeah, he's the rat of Flavor Town.
Remy is Guy Fieri. So then he gets the idea to go on top of the roof and roast the mushroom, but he gets hit by lightning.
Yeah, his cooking has shocking results.
Yes, and he's like, we gotta do that again. Which is funny.
This whole time, I did not realize that their nest was in the lady's house.
Whoa, they're Napoleon.
Whoa, Jodie Foster had something to say about that.
Or maybe it was Major, the lion. Rawr.
Major. Yeah. And just like, fuck a rat. I was a lion in a movie.
Yeah. Just for a visual, there's a Napoleon and Samantha poster that we haven't hung up yet, sitting on the back of the couch, and it just tried to attack us.
It's too bad you can't attach pictures to the podcast notes. I
mean, we probably could.
No, you can't. You can't.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how things work.
Yeah, I know.
Hey.
But so they break into the old lady's house to get saffron because that's going to bump up the mushroom. And she goes fucking wild on her own house trying to shoot rats with her shotgun.
Yeah, it's great. It's hilarious.
She just blows her whole house up until the colony falls out of the ceiling of her house.
Mm-hmm. And Remy...
But wait, this scene deserves more love. Then she gets a gas mask on and is trying to gas out the rats and shoot them with the shotgun. She's just totally laying waste. Going outside, chasing them down as they're floating away in their little boats. This is a great scene.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Remy saves the Anyone Can Cook book.
Yeah, he has to get away with the book. He gets his paddle... spatula shot off.
So he has a shitty paddle.
And he loses his family. There's a split in the road. He obviously takes the wrong one. And now Remy's alone with his book, which he gets to read in full. And then he starts imagining Chef Gusteau.
Well, because on the TV in the old lady's house, they were saying Gusteau had died because that critic gave him a bad review.
Anton Ego.
So clearly he killed himself or something.
But I don't know. Wait a minute. Let's just be honest here. Gusteau was beyond morbidly obese.
But he died shortly after the bad review.
Well, yeah, but making a sad 500-pound guy sad, that'll kill him.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true. Yeah, so he starts having conversations with Gusteau, and Gusteau's like, yo, go up outside, see what's going on.
Yeah, go explore. He's like, what? And he finds out he's in Paris!
Yeah.
Right across the street from Gusteau's restaurant.
With only 3 stars now.
Instead of 5.
Because apparently, and this, I don't know if this is a true thing, I should have fact-checked it.
What, that they lost the star because he died?
Yeah.
I would...
Is that a real thing?
I mean, if it's not, it's certainly, I would buy it. I mean, why would you not knock the restaurant down because the chef died?
You died, fuck your restaurant. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the dude that's directing everything and allegedly the cook and the mastermind, if that guy goes, it can't be as good.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true. And at first he's going to steal some food from some, house party or something. And then,
and Gusteau's like, you cannot steal, you're a cook. You go cook. He's like, but I am hungry. He's like, but a cook will always find food.
Yeah. And so he goes to Gusteau's, and
then we find Linguini getting hired as a garbage boy.
Because he's apparently an old flame of...
Why didn't he read his mom's letter?
I don't know. That's because he's dumb, and that kind of tracks.
I guess that is that he's dumb. I mean, so he gives him a letter. They hired him already. Remy gets in the kitchen and sees him screwing up the soup.
Yeah, for some reason he feels like he needs to fuck with the soup. Why did he do that?
Because he spilled it, so he had to fill it back up.
That's
he didn't know what the hell he was doing.
And Remy's like, he's messing it up, don't do that. And
so he goes down and saves it, and this is a hilarious scene of him jumping over the pot and running up the spoon.
He's getting into it, and then the best part is when he's turns around and then Linguini's just staring at him, and he drops the rest of the stuff in. Yeah, it's so funny. I love this part so much.
So do I. I really like the parts where he's jumping over it and just dropping things in.
Yeah, he's in his element. He's simple because first he kind of drops one thing in, he's gonna leave, and he goes, "Oh, I just gotta do one more thing," and I just gotta do one more thing, and he's so they're gonna take the soup out, to
just a customer.
A customer, and he's like, "No." Linguini's like, "Don't take the soup."
And the chef like almost gets outside, and he has to just stop. Chef Skinner. He's like, because
he thinks that Linguini was messing with it, so he's like, "No, it's gonna ruin my rep." Because that's what you know.
Well, he knows Linguini was messing with it.
Yeah, but then the lady is like, "Oh my gosh, no! I want more. The soup is amazing."
Well, yeah, she's like, "Can I talk to the chef? Like, it's amazing. It's great." Blah blah blah. Blah.
He's gonna fire Linguini. And then Colette is like, you can't fire him if they find out that you fired somebody that this critic liked their food. Like, you're going to look bad.
Right. So then, after this, she's like, I thought the whole thing was anyone could cook. But then Remy gets caught.
Yes.
And they send the boy out to kill him away from the restaurant because you don't want to get caught in the restaurant with a rat.
Yes, very smart. And, okay, the scene where Linguini, I almost said Luigi, where Linguini debates about killing him, and then he's like talking to him and trying to talk himself out, and Remy's like nodding. I love this scene.
Yeah, it's a great scene.
The scene is great.
And initially Remy runs away from him, but then he's like, wait a minute.
And he comes back.
Yeah, he comes back. And he's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, my B.
I mean, I'm not ambitious. I wasn't trying to cook. I was just trying to stay out of trouble. You're the one who was getting fancy with the spices. What did you throw in there? Oregano? No? What, rosemary? That's a spice, isn't it? Rosemary? You didn't throw rosemary in there? Then what was all the flipping and all the throwing?
Go back to Linguini's apartment.
Yes, his tiny apartment, which coincidentally has this amazing view of Paris.
Well, to be fair, I mean, how many little hovels probably have an amazing view of Paris?
That's a little sus.
I'm just saying it's possible plenty of little hovels, especially if that was like his mom's old pad.
Well, fun fact, his apartment, based on the view, is in the Montmartre district of Paris. Which is like the artist district.
Right, but that's what I mean, like, say maybe it was his mom's old pad.
Yeah, that's possible. So the next morning, Linguini wakes up and then he thinks that he's been robbed by the rat, but then it turns out Remy's just making him breakfast.
Yeah, he's making him breakfast, making this delicious omelet.
And he's like, don't take spices from the neighbor. That's not nice.
Yeah, don't steal. You can't steal food.
Yeah.
That's like the theme of this whole goddamn story is you can't steal.
Yes. He goes to the restaurant and Chef Skinner's like, you gotta remake the soup.
And they have this montage of them trying to make the soup where Ratatouille is just biting the shit.
That is funny, he goes, okay, the part where he runs in the fridge and he rips open his thing and he's got all these little rat bite marks. We need to figure out a way to make this work without you crawling all over me with your little rat feet.
And biting and nibbling.
They figure it out because Chef Skinner opens the fridge and Linguini stuffs him in his hat really quickly, and then they kind of figure out that
Remy is able to basically puppeteer him with 2 strands of his hair, and he can make his arms and body move all wildly.
Yeah, and the practice montage at home where he's practicing is very good.
Yeah, it is. It's really funny. It's really stupid. I was surprised that they
when he's pouring the spaghetti and he's like, shh.
Yeah, I was really surprised that they didn't have him nick his finger with the knife. I was really surprised by that. I thought that there'd be at least one, like, close call, you almost lost your finger.
Yeah, and he's like, could, like, look at him and, little chef could just be like, and then his arms could raise.
Yeah.
And he'd keep going. So he is able to recreate the soup.
And he makes the soup, and then we find out that Chef Skinner is all into making a Gusteau commercial brand Hot Pocket junk food piece of shit empire.
Which is
It's fucking hilarious. It's spot on.
Yeah, because the guy is like, he's like, we'll make some
corn
puppies, and he's like, what is a corn dog again? He's like, oh, it's hot something fried in batter, cheap American
food. Yeah.
And he makes Colette mentor, or Colette has
she's in charge of Linguini. She has to mentor him, and she's just like, I'm the toughest chef here, and
yeah, she's great. Her character is fantastic.
Yeah, her character is really good,
and I liked how they animated her just like a regular person.
One of the other fun facts I just left out, they made it almost all ladies that animated Colette.
And she looks like a real lady. She looks like a regular person who would work in a kitchen. Yeah, like, she looks like a real person.
She looks, as a matter of fact, I would say that she is spot on the exact person that you would find cooking
in a
at
kitchen.
a restaurant.
Yeah. No, she's great.
With fewer tattoos than nowadays. That's about it.
That is true. She should have.
Well, but if it, no, not in 2007. But now, if it was now, she would have sleeves and like aggressive piercing.
And is this where she like tells him about all the people in the kitchen?
Yes, she tells him about all the people in the kitchen, and she tells him about why she's the only girl.
Yeah.
You listen. I just want you to know exactly who you are dealing with. How many women do you see in this kitchen?
Well,
Only me. Why do you think that is?
Well,
Because haute cuisine is an antiquated hierarchy built upon rules written by stupid old men. Rules designed to make it impossible for women to enter this world. But still I'm here. How did this happen?
because you,
Because I am the toughest cook in this kitchen. I have worked too hard for too long to get here, and I am not going to jeopardize it for some garbage boy who got lucky.
And
because she's the toughest fucking bitch in there.
Don't ever play cards with this guy. He's banned in Monte Carlo and Vegas.
This guy wouldn't tell you what he did, but he did kill a guy with his thumb.
Yeah, and then the guy, he fought for the resistance. Which one? We don't know. Apparently
he won't say because they lost.
Apparently they didn't win. This is also where Chef Skinner gets the letter, right? He reads the letter.
Yeah, he reads the letter. Yes.
From Linguini's mom, and is like, "Oh, it's Gusto's son." Da da da, and he's like, "No, it's not." And he keeps.
Oh no, that's after.
Is that after this? Okay.
Yeah, this is where they like the Linguini's food. He's reunited with Emile, and Remy steals for the first time.
Where Remy is reunited with his brother Rat, Emile.
Yeah. And he goes home, and they have a big party, a big rat party underground.
Oh, because, real quick though, because that's the scene where they like his food is because Chef Skinner is like, you need to make the not audience, the diners are like, we want something new. And he's like, you need to make this horrible recipe.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna lie. This movie was hard as hell to take notes for. You're right.
I just want to call this out because I love this scene because I think it's so good because Linguini is like, because Colette's like, we need to follow the recipe, da 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 da. And Remy like knows that it's bad, so he fixes it. And right before they're about to pour that horrible sauce on it, he pours like his own sauce on it.
Yeah, the anchovy anise, which is anchovies and licorice.
Yuck.
Yeah.
And the look on his face when he's like pouring the sauce like at the last second, and she's like, oh, that's like one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's great. But yes, then they're all celebrating Linguini, and this is when he gets drunk in the office.
Right. And then Emile or Remy goes to his parents.
Yes.
And his dad is like insulting him kind of, and they kind of fight about what Remy's going to do. And he takes him, and while this is happening, drunk Linguini getting interrogated about rats, but really he just has to clean the whole shop.
Yeah, well, because Skinner is trying to get him to admit there's something with the rat, because he keeps almost catching them together.
Right.
Well, what happens was...
Remy's dad takes him to this pest control store.
Yeah, and this scene is kind of a... Do you remember in Fox and the Hound when Todd's like, no, he's my friend, and they take him into the thing that had all the pelts hanging up? Yeah. This was kind of like that. It kind of had a similar callback to that, but... because he sees all the rats and the traps, and he's like, "No, Dad, you're wrong."
He's like, "Change is nature."
Do.
So he shows back up at the restaurant. Remy does with a sleeping Linguini.
This part is so funny because he has to operate Linguini. He puts sunglasses on him.
Linguini is still asleep, but he's marionetting him, and it's making Colette feel like Linguini's being a fucking dick to her.
Because she's like, oh, you had to talk to the chef? That's big. And he, like, makes him look at her like, ugh.
He's like, oh, yeah, Papali.
Pretty much. And she's like, she gets all mad, and she's like, fuck you, and da-da-da, and she slaps him, and then he wakes up, and he's like, oh my god.
Oh my god, no. And Linguini's about to reveal his secret, and Remy's like, no. So he does the big kiss of Colette instead, and she's just like, she wants to fight it, and she's like, oh.
Well, she's about to pepper spray him.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, okay, never mind. This is good. So then there's a little mini scene of the food critic, the Ego, where he's upset because his like assistant is telling him, oh, it's popular again.
Yeah. Gusto's is popular somehow.
And he's like, no,
I make it popular. And then we find out that Linguini is Gusto's son.
Yeah.
And one of the better things that I thought there was is Skinner's rat rant. he just goes off the fucking rails about the rat to the lawyer. And the lawyer's like, do I need to worry about you?
Yeah.
Like, are you okay? This part is funny as hell. It's really good.
Look at him out there, pretending to be an idiot. He's toying with my mind like a cat with a ball of something.
String?
Yes, playing dumb, taunting me with that rat.
Rat?
Yes, he's consorting with it, deliberately trying to make me think it's important.
The rat.
Exactly.
Is the rat important?
Of course not. He just wants me to think that it is. Oh, I see the theatricality of it. A rat appears on the boy's first night. I order him to kill it. And now he wants me to see it everywhere. Ooh, ooh, it's here. No, it isn't. It's here. Am I seeing things? Am I crazy? Is there a phantom rat or is there not? But oh, no. I refuse to be sucked into his little game.
And then this is when the street rats start showing up and he needs to feed his homies.
Yes. And Remy also, because he's looking for the key
to feed his homies.
Yeah.
He discovers the will.
And then he's taking it, and Chef Skinner catches him, and then there's a wacky chase.
A ridiculously wacky chase.
It's great, though. I love
Chef
it.
Skinner jumping across boats. And
Remy jumping across boats.
But I mean, if you've seen rat videos, rats can jump really far.
Well, and he's using the documents as like a parachute almost.
Short little chefs can't jump really far.
No. Short, fat little chefs cannot jump very far with their tiny little legs.
And eventually that is what wins out, is because Remy jumps a far distance with the help of the documents and gets away. And immediately, this is kind of what I liked about this, is there was no... wait, it was just like, oh, no, this is now Linguini's restaurant.
Yeah, because he comes back and then Colette's like, this is his restaurant because they have the documents, and then it's a whole news thing and he's in charge now.
There's like press, and you kind of have to deal with Linguini's newfound ego, and
and Remy thinks, oh, he's gonna share what's going on, but he doesn't. But
why would Remy want that? He didn't want that when he was gonna reveal it to Colette. This is a little bit of a
because his ego is also growing.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
true.
wants recognition.
That's true.
And so the food critic, ego.
Anton Ego, yeah. There's a lot of ego in here.
Comes and is like, I'm going to review your restaurant in 2 days. Or whatever. And
it's this big montage. But Linguini gets mad at Remy because he was pulling on him during the interview.
Well, and when they're back at the kitchen, he wouldn't stop. Or no, it was just the interview. So I thought he was doing something with Colette, but that was a different thing.
Previously he had stopped Colette for putting something in something. Yeah, it was a quick scene, but he's like, it's not just about you and me, there's more to it.
Yeah, and so then Remy is like, fuck you, whatever, I'm going to bring my whole colony here.
Well, yeah, he gets fired in front of his colony and in front of Skinner. Mm-hmm. Everybody sees it.
And Skinner's like, oh, the rat is the chef. Okay.
Yeah. And Remy brings the whole rat clan in. They invade the kitchen. They invade the walk-in. They're just eating everything that they want. But then Linguini comes in and apologizes.
No, it's really horrible.
In front of everybody. And all the whole rat clan sees that Linguini loves Remy and really values him. And the whole rat clan's like, yo, ride or die, dog. We're with you.
Sort of. Because then Linguini catches all the rats in the kitchen. He's like, you're stealing? I can't believe this.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah. Because then he's like, he kicks them all out. He's like,
he fires him,
if I catch you again, I'm going to do what real kitchens do to pests. And then he gets captured in the rat trap. Because
his fat, dumb brother fucks up.
He's like, ooh, cheese.
And he's like, no! And knocks him out. And he gets caught by Chef Skinner and thrown in the rat trap in the trunk of his car.
Yeah, because Skinner tells him, you're going to make
a frozen food line for me.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. And
Skinner's frozen food line.
And then it's the big night when the critic is going to come, and he tells the waiter, your chef can make me whatever the fuck he wants, because...
Does he have perspective?
Yeah, he's all just totally...
He's super pretentious. He's a total dick. He's a total, a great villanesque asshole person.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
just totally cocky.
Yeah.
Cock of the walk.
Yeah, because that's how... Spoiler art food critics are like that.
Yeah, yeah.
The super, super high-end food critics are
Sure.
they think that their taste, which your taste buds are subjective, so it's just so fucking stupid. Like, it's just...
We rely a lot on reviews.
Everybody's taste is different.
We rely a lot on reviews. That's all I'm saying. Ego just says, bring it. Whatever your best shot is, bring it on. Give me your best shot.
Tell the chef to hit me with his best shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what you would like this evening, Zara?
Yes, I think I do. After reading a lot of overheated puffery about your new cook, you know what I'm craving. A little perspective. That's it. I'd like some fresh, clear, well-seasoned perspective. Can you suggest a good wine to go with that?
With, what, sir?
Perspective. Fresh out, I take it.
I am,
Very well. Since you're all out of perspective and no one else seems to have it in this bloody town, I'll make you a deal. You provide the food, I'll provide the perspective, which would go nicely with a bottle of Cheval Blanc 1947.
I'm afraid your dinner selection?
Tell your chef Linguini that I want whatever he dares to serve me. Tell him to hit me with his best shot.
And then we're back in the car with Remy and Gusto. The Gusto figment is like, what are you doing? It's your big moment. Da-da-da. And he's like...
You're just being a dumbass. Why are you quitting? You're fucked.
But then the rats come to rescue Remy.
Well, yeah. Emil and his dad rescue him. And he immediately starts running for the restaurant and is like, no, I'm a chef. Trust me.
And then Linguini at the last second protects Remy from all the other chefs.
Remy from all the other chefs. And he tells them the secret and everybody quits.
Yeah, they're like, you're fucking crazy. Yeah. We're quitting. And then Linguini just goes in his office because he's all sad. And then Remy's dad comes to save the day.
All the rats are going to cook.
Oh, God.
They get washed in the dishwasher, which is hilarious.
This whole segment where Remy is directing all the rats.
Yeah,
and you have the rats like sliding down the cheese on the cheese grater. And like, yes. The rats...
I do really enjoy them going down the cheese grater.
The rats in the dishwasher is very funny. Yeah. And he's having him cook, and Linguini comes out, and he's like, oh my God, you're doing it. And he's like, we need someone to wait tables. So he's out there doing what he does best.
Yeah, Linguini's he's being cheesy dude. And he's on roller skates, so he can get to everybody.
Well, and there's a breakaway scene where Colette is on her moped, and then she sees the cookbook in the kitchen and says...
And she's like, I gotta go back.
Well, because it says anyone can cook, and she's like, oh.
Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, the rat can cook, maybe.
It's so bizarre, not weird at all.
Yeah.
So she goes back, and then she gets into it. And
because she's like, what do you want me to cook? And Remy whips out the ratatouille recipe out of the little card file thing.
Yeah, and she's like, it's a peasant dish.
And he's like, yeah, it is. But I'm going to zhuzh it up.
And he makes it real fancy.
But because he stops her at certain points and be like, no, you got to do it like this. This is what it needs. It's not, you can't just do it according to what's in the card file.
Yeah. And then we get one of the best moments in the movie, I think, when they take the little ratatouille out to the critic and he bites it into it and he has a flashback.
Zaps back to his childhood.
It's so sweet. It's
how you get to the heart of a person. That's really important.
And so he's like, this is amazing. And I want to talk to the chef. And so Colette comes out and she's all, if you want to talk to the chef.
You have to wait till
everybody's gone. So they bring out the rat and he's like just listening and they tell the whole story and the whole thing. And then he's just like, okay, thanks for the meal. Bye.
And then they read off his review, which is just fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
It's this beautiful prose that has nothing to do with rats, nothing to do with anything. Just this beautiful prose about food and about critics and about just kind of how people can kind of eat a dick and that there's a better way in life.
The world is often unkind to new talent, new creations. The new needs friends. Last night I experienced something new. An extraordinary meal from a singularly unexpected source. To say that both the meal and its maker have challenged my preconceptions about fine cooking is a gross understatement. They have rocked me to my core.
But the restaurant gets closed down because there was a scene where
where they captured the inspector and Skinner.
The capturing the health inspector was very funny.
Right, and capturing Skinner is very funny. Yeah. But of course they ratted them out. So Gusteau's got closed down, but they opened up a new bistro restaurant.
That the food critic sponsored.
Yeah.
Or funded.
Ego lost his...
Ego.
Well, his ego and his position because of the rat-infested restaurant. But he funded the new bistro that also has an upper deck rat bistro.
Yeah, and it's called Le Ratatouille.
Le Ratatouille with a little rat with a spoon.
It's pretty cute.
It's pretty damn cute. It's pretty damn great. I fucking loved it.
Remy lives his dream.
Yeah, Remy, because Remy's happy, Linguini's happy, Colette's happy. It's just, if this doesn't make you a little misty at the end, you're a fucking asshole.
Babe, but I get a little misty from the moment the food critic has his little flashback.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, from that point on, if you're not, oh my god, this is the greatest movie of all time, you're just, fuck you.
Yeah,
like, it's, and you know what? You know who doesn't like this movie? People who don't like food.
Well, okay, so that's actually, spoiler alert, my favorite line in the movie, when the food critic, when Ego comes to, like, challenge Linguini, and Linguini's like, he's like, you're awfully something for someone.
Awfully skinny for somebody who likes food.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't like food. I love food. I spit out anything I don't love.
You're awfully skinny for someone who likes food. Because that's always my thing, is like, do I really trust that you know what you're talking about? You don't look like you like to eat. So, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And it is fucking great.
No songs. No,
nothing. There's not. There might be a couple of little French like here and there, but really no.
It's Pixar, bro. There's no music.
Well, why wasn't there? What's that guy's name?
Randy Newman.
Yeah, why was there no Randy Newman French?
Randy Newman.
Yeah, he can't do French.
Steve French.
And then characters. I mean,
Remy. So what I like, it's just. The actual...
Remy's a fantastic character.
No, he's great. And the whole tropey thing of like, oh, the son doesn't fight with the dad about you can't...
But it works out instead.
It's told in a different way. And
it actually works out. Like, the dad is actually... He comes around, which is so rare for these kind of movies. Yeah. And it really works. It's like, oh, well, thank fuck that he came around. Like,
yeah.
Really.
Patton's voice was perfect for Remy.
He was great. He had the perfect emotional tone for the character of Remy.
Yeah.
And I don't think you could do much better, except for there's also Colette. And Janine Garofalo fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
She was the perfect angry but loving and kind of vulnerable lady chef.
I love the little segment where she's teaching him all the little things about cooking, and Remy's like learning, where she's like, keep your station clean, orders come in, things pile up, it's a disaster.
I'm not your mommy. Yeah, the mommy scene. That's
and the keeping your sleeves clean. She's like, mark of a good chef, dirty apron, clean sleeves.
Yep.
Like, keep your hands in, you'll minimize burns. And if you notice later in the movie, they animated, like, Linguini started to have like...
The pink burns.
The burn marks,
if you really do work in restaurants, you get those.
Well... Yeah, I mean...
Well, they're not permanent, but...
That's a permanent burn.
But I mean, like, the pink suntan burn, yeah. And then Linguini is a great, dumb kind of... He's not the lead character, but he's kind of the guy who carries the movie.
Yeah.
And he's perfect for what he is. He's just dumb and a little entitled.
Yeah. No, you know what he looks like, though? He looks like... a grown-up Johnny Whittaker, a little bit.
I'll give you that.
Like a young 20s, didn't do a lot of drugs, Johnny Whittaker.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So, and then the villain side, Anton Ego is incredible.
Yeah, but then he turns into a good guy.
Well, he flips, which is good for the story.
Yeah.
Flipping Ego is good. And then I'll also say Remy's dad is also a good villain for the early part of the movie because he's such a shit-talking asshole. But it's perfect for the tone of the movie.
Well, and if you think about it, if like this was a real story, like some people found in Google, if your you're the leader of a rat colony, like...
Yeah, the most important person would be the person that can smell poison.
Like, all of his reactions to everything, like, stay away from people, like, he's literally just trying to do what he's
doing his job, but he's an asshole.
No idea that his name was Django.
Well, that is a huge fault. I was like, what the...
Who's Django?
For almost every character in this, I had to click on the IMDb link and go, oh.
Except for Linguini, Colette, and Ego. And
yeah,
Remy.
that's what I mean. Everybody else was like, oh. Who was Skinner? Oh.
Yeah.
I just called him Chef throughout all my notes. I was like, I don't know his name was Skinner. When did they say that?
Yeah. And there's so many good little things. Okay, like I said...
Whoa. Let's not forget one of the best characters, which is Skinner. Skinner is fucking incredible. He's a total asshole from the fucking dropped dime.
Yeah.
And does not relent the whole movie. I love his character.
He's a chef.
The character of Skinner is the perfect dickhole, short motherfucking chef who needs his little goddamn step stool to get above everybody and scream at them. Oh, what a great choice.
Yeah. No, he's really good. And I also really enjoy the little scenes between Remy and his brother Emile.
Like, Emile was secretly, for just like a little character, really tied this movie together really well.
What are you eating?
I don't really know. I think it was some sort of wrapper once.
What? No. You're in Paris now, baby. My town. No brother of mine eats rejectamenta in my town.
Like when he's trying to teach him, he's like, okay, eat this slowly, eat that slowly. And he's, you lost.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
I'm detecting some nuttiness. But yeah, it's...
And the little animation that they had at the beginning with Remy, they kind of half show it with Emile, but he just never does get it.
Yeah. No, it's...
He just doesn't have that palate, which as a person... If you're a person who really loves food and has a really good palate, you totally understand that scene.
Yeah, because if you really take a bite of food, and like at the beginning of the movie when he was eating the piece of cheese and then eating the fruit, it was like, oh, I can totally picture what he's eating. Like I can taste what they're animating right now.
And I think this hit me harder as somebody who post-COVID had some taste issues.
Yeah.
I learned for the first time that my palate was super refined, even though I should have known it all along. But that
you don't appreciate it till it's gone.
But when I lost a lot of it and it took a long time to get it back, I was like, oh, fuck.
Don't know what you got till it's gone. Don't know what it is I did so wrong. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Okay, the animation though.
Oh my god,
was amazing.
It's beautiful. It's exciting. All of the chase sequences are great.
Okay, the part when he's first in the kitchen, he's going underneath everyone's feet. He almost gets put in the oven, like all that stuff.
All that. The Skinner chase scene is amazing.
Yeah,
the little scene where he's trying to be cool in the real world and gets knocked out of the real world.
Yeah,
it's almost hard to wrap my mind around how cool the animation.
Well, this is 2007.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm going to need to see this movie again, and probably again and again. And I hope our kids like it so that I can watch it more.
I just can't wait to go on the ride someday.
Yeah, same.
Because it's like, I mean, it's a perfect addition to Epcot, and
and for what they made it, like, isn't it like one of the dark maze ride things that doesn't have tracks?
Yeah, if you're sitting in you're in a giant mouse, and like you're shrunk down to the size of a mouse, and you're going around, and like it's like that scene.
It's perfect for that. It really is. Like, other than I don't think it goes up and down, which is unfortunate because one of my favorite things is him climbing things and then going down and climbing things.
Yeah.
Because rats do climb stuff, and it's really cool. So the Moochie moments, there are too many to list.
So
I have some.
I have 2.
I'm sure I have 5.
Okay, so you list 2 of yours.
First soup. The first soup scene.
The first soup is pretty good. So are you talking about like when he's jumping over the soup?
Yeah, of course.
Pretty good.
It's fucking amazing. It's hilarious. It's like, oh my god, what are we watching here? What is he doing?
Well, the part of the scene I like is when Luigi catches him.
Yes,
and then he like drops the last little bit in.
That's the peak of the scene, but just him enjoying himself and discovering his chef ability. It's just beautiful.
It's pretty good.
So
okay, no, it's list another one, and then I'll list one.
No, go ahead and list one. Because I have a feeling ours might not even match.
Okay, I actually have 3. So my first one is when he modifies the sauce on that horrible recipe. When it's like one of the first times he's actually cooking with.
Not one of mine.
Because I love the thing where Colette's like, oh, let me get the sauce. She's trying to tell Linguini, like, we need to follow the recipe. And he's like, I would listen to her if I would. And then just his face when he's like, I'm sorry. And he pours the sauce on it. I don't know. I just really like that
He
part.
was right. So my second one is the rat rant. The rat rant
with the chef. Yeah.
Incredible.
The rat's here. Rat's there.
Yeah, rat's here. Yeah. Because he's right and he's crazy. But he's also right. It's just so
it's pretty good.
Fucking funny.
I didn't think about that one, but that's pretty good.
It's great.
So my second one is, and I didn't think about this until we were talking. I was like, oh no, that's easily. It's when Linguini first meets Remy. Do you understand me? And he's nodding and da-da-da.
See?
He's like, I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. He's like, okay, I'm going to let you out. Like, I like that whole Linguini meets Remy scene.
Okay. See? Once again, not one of mine. That's why I said don't do it. Don't do it like that.
What's your next one?
The kiss the girl tiny chef scene. It's fucking amazing. No, it's great because he is babbling himself in words and Remy knows what to do and it kind of ties the movie together because that's what coalesces Colette and Linguini's relationship is that he shut his fucking mouth and kissed her and it's perfect. It's perfect.
So my last one, which I think, talking through it, is my true best moment of this movie, is all the rats come together, the rat cooking montage of Remy ordering them around. And just because I love the like the little rat, like the big rat pounding the meat. And, like that.
He was boxing the meat. That was hilarious.
And just the whole segment of Remy telling them what to do in the kitchen to where Colette comes in and she almost throws up. That's my that's my Mochi moment.
So I have...
What's your last one?
My last one is not that. It's the Anton Ego review, which is beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And cathartic and just fucking amazing. That's why because there are so many in this movie. There are 10 to 12 Moochie moments in this movie.
Yeah.
This movie is fucking great.
It's pretty fantastic.
I don't have anything bad to say about it. And that's weird. I don't understand.
I don't really have any surprises or disappointments. Just if I had to do anything to change this movie, it would only be maybe to have 1 or 2 more female characters. Like, okay, you could have maybe...
The ladies.
You could have had maybe, like, the lawyer could have been a female character easily. No, I think so. I think that could have worked.
Okay.
And then maybe, like...
Well, there was the female reviewer that actually helped them.
And maybe, like, the waiter, like, the main waiter could have been a female.
I don't think that would have checked out.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, they should have...
Because it's such a dude position at a big restaurant like that.
So I think the lawyer should have been a female then.
Yeah,
and maybe a female rat. Like, maybe he should have had a mom or something.
To me, that's the number one thing, is there should have been 4 female rats. Instead of just all dudes. That's where they could have made up the ratio.
Yeah, he could have
Especially because the one reviewer was a chick. It would have made, if there were some female rats, it would have really helped.
Yeah, just a little more. If you had to nitpick something, I would say just some more females, because literally Colette and, like, really is the only female character. And that's
the reviewer.
Kind of unfair, but...
Fuck you if you want to remake this. Although when I thought about it, if you did it shot for shot, word for word, everything the exact same, and you did this live action, it would be pretty cool. But it would have to be shot for shot, word for word, same for same.
It would be tough.
It'd be tough.
And I just feel like so much of it would be CGI.
If you change anything, fuck you.
It would just be hard. It would be hard. It would all be CGI. So it would be kind of like, eh.
Yeah. You're right. So fuck you.
No, don't remake it. It's perfect.
Do you have any final thoughts?
No, I mean, I just wish there was a few more female characters. I guess the only other thing, and this is actually a theory online that I've heard about before, but that the old lady at the beginning could have been the critic's mom. Like, that's his mom. The old lady at the beginning of the movie that's shooting all the rats.
Oh.
And that's actually a thing because the way that her kitchen is, if you look at the animation in his flashback, it's the same kitchen.
Okay.
So it probably is, but they could have, like...
Sure. I just thought this movie's fantastic.
Like,
I don't
yeah.
care.
No, it is fantastic, but I was just trying to think of something you could add to it. I don't know, but...
Did you get a budget for this movie?
I did.
Okay.
$150 million.
And what did it make?
623
It just seems
million.
low. It just seems low.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
I just don't understand why this didn't have a bigger appeal. So, let's see. What do I want to pick first? You know, I'm going to say, what is your rating for this movie?
So I love this movie. I've always liked this movie, but watching it again now as an older person, I love this movie. If you had asked me when I first saw it, I probably would not have rated it as high, but I gave it a 95%. Or 9.5 out of 10 drunk linguinis.
I gave it 100%.
Whoa. You gave... Whoa.
Wow.
So you like this just as much as The Lion King?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. This is just as good. It might be better. It might be better.
I'm shook.
And I'm not kidding. This movie is fucking perfect. It's fan-fucking-tastic. I love this movie.
I'm really happy that you love it so much.
No, I love it. It's great. And I know that the more I watch it, the more I'm going to like it.
I think part of why you like it is because you like to cook. And I mean,
anyone can cook.
No, it's a great movie. Like, it really is.
I really like it. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is? I just looked at my paper.
No, I didn't see it. I can't see that from here.
Glasses.
Shut up. It's got to be in the 80s. I'm going to guess like an 81%.
96. Nobody doesn't like this movie.
No, it's just...
For some reason, it's 87 with the people, but I think some people are just fucking dumb.
I think that those are the people who don't like food.
Yeah, that would check out. That's about right.
Because I don't think if you... Or maybe it's people that just don't have that, like... Everybody has that one thing they eat that takes them back to their childhood or takes them back to some memory of something.
Happy thing.
And...
Tomato soup.
I mean, tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. Like it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just, if you don't have that, and you don't have that kind of relationship with, food.
Or people, or experiences, then yeah. So now it's time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast. And this time we get number 318. So another newer movie. Maybe, if we haven't gotten it before.
That's not that newer. I mean, it's like 100 movies.
Newer. Oh, it's some Reddit out movie. It's the Boys Sherman Brothers story. So yeah, no.
Nope. Documentary. Sorry.
72. Old school.
Yikes.
Now we're getting into something crazy. Oh yeah. Something we haven't seen before. Although, I'm not sure if it's a movie or not.
It's a movie, obviously, but...
Okay, so number 72. Do you have any guesses?
And what decade is it from?
60s.
It's gotta be something wacky.
So, number 72 from 1964, the movie directly before Mary Poppins, is The Moon Spinners, rated PG.
It's a movie.
Okay.
I have not seen
it,
but I do remember seeing it, like, on the list, and it's a movie.
Okay, good.
So, okay, before Mary Poppins, what was after it?
No, Mary Poppins is directly after.
Okay, so what are other movies that are closest to this that we've seen?
So, that we've seen the closest is Sword in the Stone in 1963. Although, two before this was The Misadventures of Merlin Jones.
Okay, so this is going to be more in that vein,
feel
like.
Of course. You got a lot of Monkey's Uncle vibes.
Because...
But after this, I mean, there's maybe one of the 5 best runs of any of the Disney movies. Because after this is Mary Poppins, Emil, Those Callaways, Monkey's Uncle, and That Darn Cat in that order. Yeah. I mean, so I'm expecting this not to be good just because the next 5 movies are fucking fantastic.
The Moon Spinners. What is this about? Okay. I mean, it's gotta be like something out on a prairie or something.
No, I think this has something to go with going to space because it was right at that time.
No.
But you could be right. I don't know.
Okay, so we'll find out next week.
Spinners. Yeah, we'll find out next week. If you want to like, subscribe...
Leave us a review.
5 stars.
Let us know how you felt about Ratatouille.
Yeah, send us an email. DisneyOddPod@gmail.com. So in the meantime, this has been Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm D.
Bye! Can you go get me a glass of wine? Since I lost half of my fucking cider.
What do you want, red or white?
White if it's out of the box. God damn it. Ugh! For those just tuning in, Kat just spilled half of her cider. But luckily it managed to not get on the equipment. Too bad. Just on the floor. And on herself. So smart, Kat. You're such a genius. Ah, why did I do that? Well, it is a miracle. The only thing that spilled on was my headphones.
Oh, hopefully they work. It's a real sticky situation. I need to watch the new Beavis and Buttheads.
Do you need to? Is that a necessity?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do it while you're not in the room, but I'll do it like when I get home from work.
You're cheating on me. Beavis and Butthead.
Well, no, it's just like not at his house. I don't want to watch that. That's your time.
You know what the real miracle is? That my glass didn't break.
Well, that is also why we bought extras of those.
Bummer about the cider, though. What a waste. It's good. Okay.
You can find it at Fred Meyer.
Good to know. What was it called?
The Tart Imperial Cherry.
Yeah. Tart Imperial Cherry. Cherry
cider.
Okay.
It's Incline Tart Cherry Imperial Cider. That's what it was.
Sponsored.
Yeah, I'm sure Incline Cider is clamoring to sponsor with us.
They're knocking on the door, just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.